3 Americans, 2 political parties, talking about one terminal diagnosis. This is Political Malpractice. Welcome back to Political Malpractice. It is your favorite 2 crazies, and maybe we are in Gnome's crosshairs. Who the fuck knows nowadays? But it is I, Sasha, and Chris to talk to you about the bullshit that went on this week. I had really wanted to dig into the State of the Union. I mean, Chris, if you go onto our Google Drive, I have pages and fucking pages and fucking pages of fact-checking this motherfucker. And then the son of a bitch bombed Iran. So there goes my pages. There goes my pages. You know, I almost wonder, did he bomb Iran to distract from the Epstein files? Or did he bomb Iran to distract from his fucking shit pile of a State of the Union? Why'd he bomb Iran?
Why did he bomb Iran? Well, just to back up for a second, I mean, the funny thing is when I was reading through the Google Drive doc that you shared with me about what we were going to talk to, I was just like, I doubt our audience is going to disagree with any of this, but I was like, the fact checking is lost on certain people on the right. And so
Yeah.
I'm almost kind of like, why bother?
Yeah, it took me days to start doing the fact checking that I did, because I would get 3 sentences in, and when you fact check 3 of his sentences, that equates to 3 fucking pages of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, fucking why bother? You know, these MAGA diehards, at this point it's ego. They're not even going to listen. They are embarrassed to say that they supported him. But then I have to remind myself, you know, when you deprogram cult members, it's just repetition of the truth over and over. And that's how you deprogram a cult member.
Well, that is a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. Now, as far as like, why did we bomb Iran? I mean, Epstein files theory is kind of an interesting theory. I mean, my understanding, at least based on, fairly mainstream reporting, is they went in and bombed exactly when they did is because they knew exactly where the leadership was going to be. So that's why that they did what they did. Now, the overall picture as to why, well, I mean, I think oil always plays a part in this stuff, for sure. I don't think that we're doing this for the benefit of the Iranian people, though I do see a possible
No.
good. I do see a possible good, but that's just an accident, that's not the intention.
So here's the thing, supposedly military intelligence knew when, what's his name, the head of the Ayatollah, was going to be where he was, and so it was a precision bomb. Bullshit. Back in June, Trump, Hegseth, Rubio, all of the bootlickers swore up and down, oh, we annihilated their nuclear program. Our bombs hit like nothing you've ever seen before. The typical Trump rhetoric bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Claimed that they wiped out all possibility for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. One of the excuses that came out of their mouths for this was, well, they have nuclear capability again. They have long-range missiles to come and bomb us in America. Well, I wish they did. I wish they had one missile that we could let them have, we as in non-Trump supporters, on the agreement that they bombed the shit out of Mar-a-Lago. He's there right now. Blow it up. I'm done. I'm fucking sick.
Well, I think that like I was saying, like the oil type of stuff. I mean, ultimately, I mean, Israel has its own goals, but I don't think that it happens to be anything dealing with oil. I mean, honestly, I think that's a completely different situation, and I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
go down that rabbit hole. But it happens to align with what the wealthy within the United States want.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh yeah.
that's kind of what's going on there. So yeah, I mean, yeah, of course they wanted to. This is a regime change war. That's exactly what this is. And anybody who doesn't have that understanding is deluding themselves.
Yeah. And and how often, Chris, just off the top of your head, off the top of your head, how often does regime change work?
Somebody did actually make a good point about and I just
This
happened to see
often.
this on. Well, no, that's not true. Made a good point about Japan in the 1940s and Germany in the 1940s. There was something, and there were a few other things that they mentioned that were actually fairly big deals. But I just can't remember what they were off the top of my head. I happen to remember World War II more because my grandfather served in it. But anyway, that stood to me, and those were regime change wars too, to a certain
It
degree.
I I will give you that once we stomped the shit out of Japan and Germany, that never rose again. The
Right,
difference is those countries had people that were living there that cared. You know what I mean?
right,
Right now, the US, our opening act in this supposed regime change was to bomb an all girls elementary school. Right now, the death toll is between 80 and 115 little girls. So the Trump administration rapes little girls, protects other rapists who have raped those little girls, and murders little girls. Congrats, MAGA. Are we fucking great?
well, there's a lot in the MAGA movement who do not support what Trump is doing, but that is also because of their insane hatred of the JOOOS and Jews. It's a
I was like, JLOOS?
it's a South Park reference. And so anyway, no. So I mean, they have their own little Jew hatred going on, and again, like I think I've said during the show, but anyway, I was against the Iran war.
Huh?
I did speak out against it. So anyway, I think that it's just kind of funny that they can't differentiate between the religion and the state. They are two different
Right.
things. So I mean, what small brain idiots are coming up with the fact that all the Jews are bad and all the Jews are wanting to do what Israel wants to do. I didn't, and I'm Jew.
Mm-hmm.
That happens to have a Christian name. I know. Give me a break, guys. Anyway, families
It,
are complicated.
I, so I will be the first one to admit when it comes to the political fight, especially here in the US, between, if you support Israel, you're automatically an extreme Zionist. And if you don't support Israel, you're automatically an anti Semite.
Right.
I'm fucking neither. I
Right.
feel like for me to really understand that history is going to take years. The only thing I can say is I don't support us as America supporting countries participating in a genocide. Now, I know that it gets ugly and hairy and twisted with Israel and Palestine. I don't understand why we're fighting over fictional land. And until you can say, oh, look, here's the tomb, here's Jesus's bones, these are Peter's bones, these are Mary's bones, these are Joseph's, until you can find me scientific hard fact that Israel or Jerusalem or whatever land they're fighting over was the land of Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ actually existed, then this war right now is fought over a fiction. You have faith in it, great for you. There's no proof.
Yeah, I mean, from the point of Jesus Christ, I mean, and I've studied the New Testament pretty extensively, but I've also studied the historical context that goes with it. And really, Jesus Christ is a blip in the historical record, meaning the actual historical record, not what the New Testament says. And so, little tiny blip. But the fact that the Hebrews that went on to become known as the Israelites lived in that land for quite some time prior to any sort of Arab ever living there is documented historical fact. So I think that that is kind of
Okay.
why, because the Romans, just a little thing, the Romans are the ones who forced them to flee. Then Arabs and other nationalities came in there. Eventually the Jews made their way back and they were kind of like, hey, this is our land. And originally they were willing to share it, but that's just not how it worked out, obviously.
So, my question, I guess, then, and we're like way going off topic here. My question is for the U.S. to support Israel, that means that the U.S. in Israel's fight is taking an anti-colonist approach in backing Israel for Israel to say we were the first people here. Essentially, that's what it boils down to. The U.S. is anti-colonist.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Yeah.
Right.
But
So,
yeah.
again, it's an administration that has their heads up their ass. And I will say this for every president that has backed up Israel. Fuck you. Not our fight. Sorry, guys.
No,
it's
not.
If we're
don't
if we're going to be the cops.
Sorry. We've got to delay.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, don't mistake me giving a little bit of the history on it as defending the United States being involved there, because that's not what I'm.
No. I didn't at all. You're catching me up on my history. All right. So let's get back to our agenda for what it fucking is this week.
Right.
So let's just be very, very clear, right? Trump's ratings as of Sunday morning, 68% of independent voters, no Republicans, no Democrats, everybody registered independent, 68% of them say that he is not focusing on the country's most important problems. That's a huge number coming into a midterm year.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not. And the Republicans aren't either. You know, I mean, they're continuing down their path of doing, what's best for, the wealthy and upper middle class and that sort of thing. And that's pretty much the thing. I mean, like recently, I'm aware of this legislation that was proposed to make sure that the minimum wage for anyone under 18 was much, much lower than over 18. And, it's obviously a dead giveaway. And as someone who came from a rather poor family, I can guarantee you that it was important that I was able to make at least minimum wage, because that money did not stay with me. It went to my parents.
So, just for those that don't listen, at this point, I'm kind of leaning more towards the conspiracy theorists, because I hadn't heard that they were trying to lower minimum wage for people under 18. That did not come across my radar. But I put that together with knowing that Florida and several other southern states are trying to make, child protection laws, and when it comes to child labor, they're trying to remove them from the state. They're trying to remove them federally. We are going backwards in time to the Industrial Revolution, when children were dying in factories. And they're trying to make it so they can pay them pennies on the dollar again.
That's exactly it.
At this point, the entire system needs to collapse. The entire government system that we have right now. No Democrats left standing, no Republicans left standing, nobody fucking left standing. It's got to come down. That's disgusting.
Well, I'll tell you
That
what,
is
you know,
utterly disgusting.
the thing is, I think that there are some people on the right who are starting to wake up to this. I am certainly one who did myself, and we realize what a load of horseshit we were fed by Donald Trump. Because the thing
Mm-hmm.
is he came across saying that he would be standing up for the little guy. Well, of course that appeals to us,
Yeah.
because while we
Yeah.
see the Democrats off here in La La Land doing whatever the hell they're doing, we're kind of like, oh no, he's speaking our language.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think ultimately he won. And that's why he got my vote. But he is so off the rails now, and the Republican Party, I mean, they barely even pretended to actually believe in the MAGA concept anyway.
Right. It, I will say, you are way more gracious than I am. Um, I don't think, now, I don't think that everybody that voted for Trump, I don't think that they are racist, misogynistic, homophobic pieces of shit. I can't say that all 77 million people are. That being said, I think that more than half are racist, misogynistic pieces of shit. And I think the other half closed their eyes to it.
There is a lot of that. I mean, I encountered homophobia out the wazoo during my race for the Missouri House, and while people would privately say, "Hey, I don't," no one really took a strong stance. You know,
Right.
so I knew that there was the private disagreement, which I guess is what still was giving me that hope, at least for a little while. But, they evidently don't disagree so much that they're willing to actually make an example out of these people that are making them.
Right. I mean, I think that on a larger scale, on a worldwide scale, world leadership would have had more respect for Republicans at this point in time had a larger body of the Republican Party stood up throughout the campaign and decried the
Mhm.
racism, the misogyny, the homophobia. If they had stomped the hate as it was coming out of his mouth, because it
Right.
was the hate from his mouth that empowered, I'll be generous, 30% of the country to finally let their racist flag fly.
Oh, fuck yeah, they're
You
showing
know,
right now, like you wouldn't believe.
the only reason a huge part of the Republican Party voted for him is because he made it okay to hate. He absolutely made it okay to hate. And the problem with Harris was that she was not cool with hating. She preached love, she smiled, she was happy, and he spewed disgusting vitriol from his mouth.
Well, I certainly had my problems with Harris, and honestly, I think that I'd go back to what I think that I'm going to vote for now. If I had the last election to do over, which is to vote for Saint Ignatius of Loyola. But anyway, I'm kind of. He's, a Christian saint. The Because honestly, I now in retrospect, it just kind of feels like they both would have been bad choices, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I mean, he did do a lot of dog whistling that a lot of us did turn a blind eye to. And I think that there's a lot of people on the right who aren't the racist, bigot, homophobes, and stuff like that, and misogynists that you're talking about, who are just like kind of confused and not sure what to do because they never saw their party as being like that. And I would say 20 years ago, even though there was like still some Christian right ass kissing going on, wasn't nearly to the degree that it is now.
think it was as open as it is now. So let's go back to our agenda because we got off again.
You know me, I'll take you all over the place.
No, I love it, but we went way off base again. So we do have an issue with this stupid. We're going to stay on Iran because there's a lot of shit that has come across my radar since he did this. CNN is reporting that U.S. is facing critical shortages of high-precision weapons and air defense interceptors due to the bombing in Iran. Current stockpiles are dangerously low. In 12 days, we have burned through $1.2 billion of weapons. And even if he were to stop bombing today, it would take years to replenish.
Oh, yeah. But hey, we can't have healthcare, you know?
Right. Let's bomb let's waste $1.2 billion worth of weapons, and heaven fucking forbid should Nana get her insulin. No insulin for you, Nana.
Well, you know? I actually went into this on X, because that is one of the reasons that I opposed the thing with Iran. I was like, I don't see them as an immediate threat to us. You know, I understand Israel has its own things, and hell, maybe if we want to sell them weapons or something like that, but don't get any more involved in that. But so let them take care of the large part of it, because the whole thing is like, I have believed in Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All ever since I first learned about it. And we're constantly told by the Democrat establishment and the Republican establishment, we just can't afford this.
Yeah.
But we can go and do this sort of shit. I'm sorry, as a conservative, I would think that you would be more in favor of not bombing Iran and making sure your fellow citizens can go to the fucking doctor.
Yeah. We are, I want to say we are one of 3, but it's probably one of 0 developed countries who still have citizens that end up going bankrupt because of medical debt. What the fuck? You know, and then we've got worm brain in the health department. We've got Dr. Oz, who is a fucking snake oil salesman, who's there too. And now the Surgeon General bitch isn't even a doctor. The lady that they were just grilling for Surgeon General isn't a doctor.
I did not even know that shit.
No, she finished 3 years of medical school, never went to residency, and became some kind of Instagram influencer for bullshit vitamins.
God.
I mean, the only bright light at the end of that tunnel is I can be fucking Surgeon General then. If someone who's not even a doctor can be Surgeon General, then why not put a 12-year ER nurse? And at that point, I will have my law degree. So make someone who's got 12 years of trauma nursing experience with a fucking law degree. Let's go. Whoever's running next for president, nominate me. I'll do Surgeon General. Your heads will spin, but I will.
Oh, no, I'd be fine with it. Maybe we could be co-surgeon generals. I was just thinking, it reminded me of some laws that I've seen introduced around the country where these legislatures are wanting to make hydroxychloroquine, there we go, and ivermectin available for over-the-counter use. Which I know is bullshit. I've seen the studies on it. None of them do all the miraculous things that they're supposed to do. But anyway, I wonder if there's been any other time, because this just popped in my head, where legislatures have pushed for a particular pharmaceutical to be given over the counter. I mean, has that really even happened before?
The only thing, not that I know for a fact, the only thing that I would say would be a pharmaceutical that was pushed by legislature to be offered over the counter is Narcan. That's the only thing that I can think of.
But that actually makes sense because we know that it can save lives.
Right. Right. And you could take as much as Narcan as you want. I mean, if the opioids aren't there, it's not going to do shit to you. It's just going to block your opioid receptors so that your next dose of medicine or drugs can't effectively seat on those receptors, you know? It's funny that you mentioned the ivermectin. I did see some doctor, I don't know who he is, but some doctor had posted a reel on Facebook and was basically throwing shade to that. You know, I mean, he said something along the lines of, why do I go to school for 12 years and specialize in oncology just so people can take ivermectin over the counter thinking that they can cure their cancer? And of course, I was like, oh God, I'm going to get mad. I know it, but I have to go to the comment section. I fucking have to. Why were these people comparing cancer to a parasite, saying that taking an anti-parasite medication is effective against cancer? Why?
I'll tell you
fucking why?
Someone who's been dealing with all of this kind of shit over the past few years, you know, I'll tell you what, I've been told more than once, oh, well, you should really try ivermectin and blah, 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 and all this type of stuff. It's like, I think that I'm going to trust my doctors on this one. You know, I think
Yeah.
I got it. That's cool. I think we're good there.
You know, if people want to throw, you know, old wives' tales, you know, the what ifs, if you want to throw that in with, you know, known medical care, and it's not going to have a it's not going to cause a conflict, there's not going to be, you know, any kind of a clash between medicines and whatever it is you're trying, fucking try it, right? But don't tell people that that is the cure-all. I remember back in late 80s, early 90s, and it's a very vague memory because I was really little, but I remember that's when the juicing cleanse as a cancer cure came out in Mexico. And everybody was talking about it. Oh, go to Mexico, you just eat fruits and vegetables, and your cancer goes away. Bitch, stop lying.
Right.
Just stop. Just stop.
I know. It makes
You know, I don't... And part of me gets really mad about it, because there are the less than smart people in this country that are going to believe it, and that's what they're going to do. But then the other part of me really feels bad, because there are people with our shitty healthcare that we have in this country that's their only fucking option. You know, when you know that you just can't afford the amount of chemo that you need, you gotta try something. And you're left with fucking horse dewormer. That's what you're left with, because that's all they're fucking selling you over the counter.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
that goes back to the healthcare thing that I was talking about earlier. You know,
yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous that we're in this situation, that all this.
But let's bomb Iran.
Shit.
Let's bomb Iran.
Yeah, again, that's one of the main reasons I was against it to start with. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm hoping for, like I said, I'm hoping for the best, because it was going to happen regardless of whether I liked it. But
right.
you know, but the thing is, you know, I mean, I'm hoping for the best. I want to support, you know, our soldiers. I'll even support Trump to the extent that, you know, I mean, if there is any good out of that comes out of this, I hope that he'll take those opportunities to, you know, make that good, or at least facilitate that good. But you know, I don't have high hopes for
it. So let me just say this. As a vet, saying that this war is stupid, the president is stupid, the administration is stupid, is not in and of itself lack of support for the troops, right? When the other war in the Middle East was going on, the Iraqi Freedom War, I was in, and it was a stupid fucking war. You know, and as long as people were saying the president is dumb, it is dumb that we are continuing this war, I never once, and neither did the people that I knew, took it as a hit against me. It was never, I'm stupid because I'm a soldier. Your commander-in-chief is a piece of shit. But, yeah, to say that the war itself is bad is not to remove support from troops. I mean, we have soldiers that have been sitting in their boats in the water over there waiting for the word, and they were so against it that they started shoving clothes in the plumbing to stop all the toilets from working. I mean, wow. The poor plumbers on those ships were working like 17-hour shifts just trying to unclog toilets, but it was flooding the ship from the inside with shit water because they didn't want to be there either. You know, and then of course you've got Trump saying, well, yeah, we might lose some Americans. Now we have, last I checked, 3 soldiers dead, 5 are critically wounded. Yeah. And here's his last quote. Here is his last quote. Let me find it here. We expect casualties, but in the end it's going to be a great deal for the world. And then he vows to avenge the death with the most punishing blow. Fool, did you not get the memo that we are almost out of weapons? So you don't give 2 shits that you are sending soldiers over there to die. Can we at least pretend that this is a serious situation? Can he at least feign sadness?
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that that's why I have the position that I do, is because, you know, again, it was going to happen regardless of whether I like it or not. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here's the other part of his quote, and this is the one I was looking for first. Sadly, there will likely be more before it ends. That's the way it is.
Right. Well,
are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, these flippant comments really piss me off, I mean, to be quite honest. But, I mean, I think the reason that I have the position that I do is, like I said, I wasn't going to stop it anyway. It was going to happen no matter what. But the thing is because I know that people, Iranians, Israelis, Americans, are all going to die in this. I'm just hoping... I guess that there's part of me that keeps a glimmer of hope that it won't be totally in vain.
That region, the entire Middle East region, is so old, and the history is so deep that Americans will never understand. And we'll never understand that as much as we try and do regime changes and all this kind of shit, did any Afghans celebrate us killing people? No. Instead, we created another 2 generations of anti-American children. Because those children don't know. They just know that we killed their dad. They didn't know that maybe their dad was bad. You know, same in Iraq. We killed fathers and raised anti-American generations.
Yeah. Oh, this could be a total clusterfuck, which, you know, that's the other component of why I didn't like it. So I'm just hoping that it's not totally, because, like I said, lives are going to be lost, and I'd hate to see that happen in vain.
So, and here's why I don't think that it will be anything other than a clusterfuck, and it's more of a flippant, this is why I don't think it's going to be anything more than a clusterfuck. Last week, and I didn't bring this up because I didn't find out about it until after we finished recording last week, but last week, Hegseth ordered us to shoot down something that they saw in the sky. We shot down our own $30 million fucking drone. And we shot down our own fucking... Yes! It was 2 weeks ago, we shot down a fucking weather balloon. Big bad weather balloons. Whoa.
I thought they were UFOs.
Are you fucking for real? We don't even have enough bombs to fight Iran. Now you want to piss off ET and whatever fucking weapons they have? I have read the book War of the Worlds. I have seen every iteration of movies War of the Worlds. I have seen Men in Black, every single one of them. We should not be shooting at fucking UFOs. That's it. Point blank, period. They have lasers. They have lasers, and we are running out of fucking missiles. I don't think so.
Right.
But come on.
Yeah, I just got done watching V, by the way, the remake of the original '80s thing. Yeah, and I totally agree. I mean, if you honestly believe that those are alien ships, you might not want to shoot at them.
You think? You think? I mean,
I wouldn't trust
for the
administration to handle it.
No, for the administration that is so pro-USA. I'm surprised they don't have the movie Independence Day just going round the clock in the fucking White House. You think that would teach them? Don't shoot at fucking aliens, because then we got to go get the drunk ex-Air Force pilot from some white trash trailer park to maybe hopefully kamikaze his way into the mothership and annihilate aliens. Come the fuck on.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Well, I did say, and I think I made an accurate prediction on X just a few days ago when they started talking about releasing files on UFOs and all this type of stuff. I was like, well, guys, something big is coming. They want us talking about UFOs now. And sure enough, a few days later, look what happened.
We shoot down a drone and say, oh, we thought it was an alien ship. Shut up, dude. God. I usually like...
I live in this timeline.
The only answer is that we all died during COVID and this is hell. That's it. We all died during COVID. This is hell.
Well, you saw my new profile, right, on X?
No.
I took these beautiful pictures of flames, and I made the background picture of me, these flames, where it looks like I'm in some place that's burning. My profile picture at the top of the banner is also flames, and it basically says, you know, politically homeless, come enjoy hell on earth with me.
Because it's true. And at this point, what do? Do we laugh? Do we cry? Do we spend our days angry? What the fuck do we do?
Well, you could be like me. I petitioned all the gays on X to post pictures of hot dudes. I was like, let's get our minds off the shit.
Oh my god. I guess gay or straight, y'all still think with your penis.
Absolutely.
Jesus. So, on another laughing matter, because we talked about the seriousness that was Iran, and that's just going to make me mad. So let's stay with the let's make fun of people topics. So, did you hear Trump's speech where he talked about the tough New York policeman and what the New York policeman said to him?
No,
please tell me you didn't.
Oh, yeah, I did. I did not get into that one. No, I'm sorry.
Here is your quote. Here's your quote. Sir, it's so good. My married life has gotten so much better. My wife thought I was a loser because my 401k was dying for years, and now she thinks I'm the smartest financial genius ever. It's made my sex life better.
What's he do? Jack off with dollar bills?
I mean, if this is a true story, bro, your wife sucks. She's dumb because she married... Well, she's dumb because she married a cop thinking that she was going to get rich or have money to spend. And she's a gold digger because your life didn't improve until your 401k that you can't touch right now. It's not liquid money. Until that got better? What the fuck? And you're thanking a pedophile for helping make your sex life better? Whoever this cop is, they need to do a welfare check. Make sure his wife is over 18. At the very least. Make sure his wife is over 18.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So I'm glad that you just kind of told me about that one because that was kind of hilarious hearing your description because it's just like I don't know. What what would make a man say something like that? I mean, if I thought that my sex life with my husband was suddenly getting better because we had more money, I'd be questioning the true status of our relationship.
Right.
Forgive
Right.
me
But,
for actually being introspective here.
right. Forgive me for actually wanting an intimate relationship like that with somebody because they love me, not because I have money.
Oh my God,
You know, I
that's
mean,
not something I would have bragged about in public. My God, dude,
no.
you do sound like a loser now.
Yeah. You know, and what cracks me up is anytime Trump relays a story and it always starts with sir, you know that shit's a lie. You just fucking know it's going to be a lie, right? And then the fact that he told a story about a woman relating good sex, good marriage, good love to money. Oh, it's
Mhm.
clearly a made up story that's based on his life. Stormy Daniels
Yeah.
told us what he was working with. The man wears a diaper, so it's constantly covered in poop. You know the only reason Melania is even in the same room as him is because of his money. That's all he
Right.
knows is money equals love. That's it.
Uh, what a sad existence. Yeah. What a very sad
It is.
existence.
It's pathetic. I wish he would take his patheticness away from the world stage. Maybe find a therapist who will do like teletherapy so they don't have to deal with the stench and become a healthy person. That would be nice. I wish that for him. Maybe that saved
Yeah.
me some karmic points. I wish that for him.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. I mean, I guess I do too. Oh my gosh. I don't know. It's like, he is the embodiment of I know like what the left has bitched about as far as like being sexist and misogynistic and stuff like that. He's like totally that fucking embodiment, and that has bothered me a whole lot. I mean, I think that I just kind of dismissed it because I thought I was like, okay, well, he's not going to be personally involved in the lives of all these women, blah blah blah. And I was just kind of like, I'll let it slide because he's going to do other good things. But now it's kind of coming back to the forefront of my mind, and I'm like, damn, he's like exactly what the left said he was when it comes to that
Uh
shit,
huh.
because that's what he cares about. That's what he cares about.
Yeah.
Sad,
It
but it's sad.
anything that the left anything that the left had said about him was not hyperbole. It was not.
Well, some of it was.
I
Some of it was. But
like
I'll
what?
give you the good
Like
that it
what?
wasn't. Well,
Even
I mean,
talking about his even talking about his member, that was revealed to be true by Stormy Daniels.
right. No, I'm not saying that.
Even
I'm
that
just
was the
saying
truth.
I was told that because I was voting for Trump, I was told several times during the election by people on the left, it's like, oh, you're voting for gay concentration camps. And I'm like, I really don't think that's coming, but okay. So,
I think I think that if the left had tucked tail and gone home, I think that would have been coming. I think it would have
well,
been coming. You have Trump's supposed spiritual advisor. I don't know. I think that he's more of a pedo
right.
buddy than anything, and they just give him the name of spiritual advisor. You've got the quote pastor of Hegseth's church who spoke in front of the military. All of
Yeah,
these
I saw that
leaders,
speech. Jesus.
yes, they are all anti gay to the point that several have called for us to be shot in the head. I do think that if the left had tucked tail and walked away, that we would very shortly be in concentration camps. Look at what they're doing with immigrants right now. They can pay billions and billions of dollars to buy warehouses to house immigrants 75% of whom have no criminal history. They can spend billions to house them in concentration camps, but they can't see fit to buy these same warehouses, outfit them, and take care of the homeless, take care of vets who are homeless because of mental health issues. We can spend billions of dollars to inflict misery and pain on the world, but we can't spend the same money to take care of people. Because that's socialism. That's the evil.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, but it's not that I totally disagree with you, but you were just asking me if I thought there was any hyperbole. And in my opinion, it's still hyperbole, though you definitely made a very good point in favor of your opinion on it. But mine was just more that I saw him as surrounding himself with these people because he was playing the far right Christians. That's what I thought he was doing, and maybe he still
Well,
is.
he is.
Yeah,
He is
but
playing the far right Christians.
yeah, and so
You know, it
that's kind of the way I saw it, and so I didn't really see it as like an actual direct threat, at least towards the gay community. Obviously, yeah, I mean, especially the stuff with immigration. I mean, that's the thing that pops in. Yeah, I still don't support open borders or anything like that. I still support some sort of legal system for coming here, but this has gone too far. And I don't think
it
that this is what people really want.
I
At least
think
the
that the
majority didn't.
I think I want to say his name is Isaiah or Isaac, but he's a younger black man who's running for Congress, and I follow him on TikTok. He's got some pretty brilliant ideas when it comes to immigration, right?
Mm-hmm.
75% of the people that have been put in these concentration camps and or deported illegally have no criminal record. So why don't we say, okay, stop, this isn't working. We're not arresting the worst of the worst. We're deporting 2-month-old babies. We're causing children to languish and die in these concentration camps. His plan was, look, if you are here and you're, waiting for asylum, if you're waiting through these processes, because the system is agonizingly slow. People can
Right.
come here on asylum and then they're waiting for some other visa to maintain a legal status. And if they don't win the lottery and get that magic number that gives them the magic protection, they've been here for 10 years on one status. They're stuck here now because they can't go home. They've built a life here and they're stuck having to hide as illegals,
Yeah.
right?
No,
We
I
need
get
his
I get that stuff.
his
Don't
plan.
don't get me wrong. I get it.
His plan was brilliant. All of these people, because the majority of them are working and are paying taxes, they pay an additional 7% tax. That 7% tax goes back into the medical system, goes into the school systems, goes into all of the social welfare nets to continue helping them. Once they have paid that additional 7% tax, I think he said for something like 7 years,
Hmm.
and background checks have been run, boom, naturalized citizen. Done.
That I would.
You're already
That I
here.
would be.
You're already paying taxes into the system. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought it
actually
was
not
brilliant.
bad. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Not,
You know,
not a bad
Trump
idea.
is selling Trump is selling golden memberships for $5 million. It's
Oh,
fucking ridiculous.
yeah, I thought that was stupid too. It just shows you where his true loyalties lie. It's his
Right.
rich
You know,
buddies. Yeah.
and if we
That's for sure.
having the additional taxes is not something that I think is the greatest in the world, because clearly the United States has money. If we stop shooting fucking UFOs that end up not being UFOs, we have money. We could take care of everybody here. I think that the let's have them pay a tax, blah, 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 is to appease the right. But I think it's a good middle ground, where people don't have to be afraid anymore.
Right.
How nice would that be to not have to be afraid?
Well, I mean, I'm not necessarily against liberalizing. By that, I mean opening up our immigration process, so that things are a little bit easier, because I mean, I know someone personally
Hmm.
who's from Sweden who's gone through the process. Ugh, it's a mess, total mess.
It's a
And
huge mess.
yeah, and so and now, he's waiting on his citizenship as well. Um and this has taken years and years and years,
Uh-huh.
which is kind of ridiculous. So,
It
anything that
should
we could do to speed up the process, I definitely would be in favor.
it the whole process is ugly. Democrats say, "Oh, it's just a bad process." And I haven't seen anybody say, "Here's a better plan." Except
Right,
for
most
this young
certainly.
guy.
Right, most
And
certainly.
except for this young guy, he has a viable plan. It's not the greatest. I don't like charging somebody else. They're already making shit money as it is, and we're just going to take more. But I can understand the need for something like that to be middle of the road, because everybody on my side of the left would be like, fuck it, background check him. They can't be worse than Donald Trump. They can't be.
Right.
They just can't, you know?
Um no, I think mostly security, maintaining our national identity for, whatever that is. I mean, kind of like a multi, I mean, I think that we've made great strides toward multiculturalism. We obviously have way more to go, for sure. I don't want that national identity lost, because, some of the people that my concern is that some of the people that we bring in don't quite understand that that is kind of a part of the American ideal. It may be an ideal, it's not something that we've achieved, but at least it's something that I think that ultimately we
So,
want to work toward.
what is your idea of a national identity? Because when I
Well,
was
that
growing
was
up,
kind of the example that I was giving, as like, I think that
right,
most of us would appreciate that sort of thing.
but what national identity? Because all through elementary school, the national identity, if any, that was imparted to me was, we are a melting pot. We are a land of freedom. I mean, for Christ's
Hmm.
sake, we've got a massive statue in the New York Harbor that says, "Bring me your tired, and you're poor."
Right. No, I
We
mean
are
that.
supposed to be.
I guess the melting pot, but that is the thing. I mean, there's the melting pot theory, which is we become a little bit more homogenous in the sense that we actually, kind of like, I guess you could say, incorporate all of these different cultures into one new culture, which I think that we have done to some degree. That's what I'm talking about as
Yeah.
far as that's what I'm talking
And
about as far as the multiculturalism is concerned. So I do want to see that, but but I don't want to be bringing in people here that don't understand that very Western idea, because that is not something that comes from the East.
I think that people can maintain their own identity within their own home and then understand that it is a mix when you step out that front door. Unfortunately, there's a huge part of white America that still thinks Taco Bell is Mexican food, but we can
I
work
get
on
that.
that.
Well, that's why I
You
say,
know, it,
trust me, tons of work to still do, for sure.
right.
But I mean, I think we've
You know,
made
and
great strides. Excuse me.
I think that not at this point in history. I think that at one point in history, we were making great strides
Mm,
at teaching children, that, hey, there's a whole bunch of different people in this country and they all have great aspects, right?
all right.
And then in comes this new Republican idea, in 2014, and that went out the window. He shit all over that. He
Well,
took a
there's no doubt
big,
that
giant dookie.
well, I mean, one of the many reasons that I started becoming more skeptical is where I saw, kind of like the reversal of that. I mean, I've been saying all along on social media and in private conversations and stuff like that, that, if we didn't have the restraints that we have on Christianity, such as they are, right, they're not great, But if we did not have the restraints on Christianity, that I have no doubt that some of them would be just as bad as some of these far right extremist Muslims. You
Yes.
know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It
I,
would go. They they decry and are so afraid of Sharia law somehow taking hold in the U.S., but they're only afraid of it because they want evangelical law to be
right.
put in place instead. They're afraid of Sharia
That
law because they want their law.
Now, that type of far right Muslim that comes in here, that some of the ones that we've seen on social media, I don't know if you've seen them. Yeah, I want their asses ejected because we don't need more of that shit. We already have it here. We don't need more of it. So yeah, get rid of them. Get them the hell out of here. But what my problem has been, what I've had a problem with, is seeing all these people on the right just saying they don't want Muslims here. Period. That's stupid. At least to me, it is. It's like, the average Muslim is probably just fine, not going to bother anybody. Just let them be, let
Yeah,
them come be a part of the country. But yeah, let's weed out the extremists. I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
I I am more afraid of the American evangelical than I am of the everyday Afghani citizen. I
Oh,
am
for
way
sure.
more afraid of the American evangelical. They
Well,
are
because they,
hateful and they feel everything is sanctioned by God. Every ounce of hate that comes out of their mouths, they feel like it is sanctioned by God.
right, right. No, you're not going to find any disagreement here. I mean, I think that it is something that we need to address in this country, and I've tried to do my little small part of opening the eyes of my Christian friends out there and being like, look, guys, you do understand there is a wing of your religion that is no
Mm-hmm.
different than the Muslims, the extremist Muslims, I should say, not just Muslims in general, but the extremist Muslims. And it's so hard for them to see it, and I know why. It's because that's the evil that they're familiar with and they know. And they see themselves as kind of
But
separate from it, but they're really
the
not, because they're
irony,
kind of,
the irony to that though, Chris, is that's not the evil that they know. They were not Christians in Afghanistan being persecuted for their faith. That is a person that knows that evil. They were here getting told stories of the boogeyman.
no,
They
no,
don't
no,
even
I'm
know
talking
what
about the
they
evil
think is an
within.
evil.
No, no, no. I'm talking about the evil within the Christian church. That's an evil they know. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It has
It's it's
nothing
the
to do with
it's
Islam.
it's the Christian church's boogeyman.
Uh huh.
You know, the evangelicals back in the 50s and 60s were able to scare their church members saying that women wearing pants is Satan tempting you. And
It
that
didn't
worked for
work
so
on
long.
me. It didn't work
Well,
on me. Yeah.
then those evangelical women, realized pants were freaking comfortable.
Right.
I don't got to clean my house in a dress and pantyhose and heels. I can wear pants. And once pants being the devil's temptation was no longer a real thing, they had to find the next boogeyman. You know, the funny point is that their own book's boogeyman is no longer a boogeyman for them. They have to
No.
point outward to find their boogeyman.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
All right, we
I
are
exactly
almost out
agree.
of time. I do want to run through some of the fact checking for the State of the Union so that I didn't waste 3 days
Oh,
of
no, no,
fact
no, no,
checking
no.
this. But we're going to run through
I'm
it
sorry
fast,
that
right?
I feel actually kind of bad that I said that you wasted your time. But anyway.
But I did. I did. The son of a bitch couldn't have waited to bomb another country until after I fact check his shit. Come on. Come on.
Right.
God. All
Oh my
right,
God.
so we're going to run through this real fast. He claimed that most states had gas prices below $2.30 a gallon. Lie. The national average is $2.92. Oklahoma Out of that, average is the lowest at $2.36 a gallon. He claimed that there was a town in Idaho that had gas for $1.99. He said maybe even $1.89. Lie. The lowest price in Idaho is $2.69 a gallon. So he lied there. Bitched at SCOTUS to their faces, because they were sitting right frickin' there, and said that they were horrible Americans by striking down the tariffs. Don't worry, I can do universal tariffs, 15% on everybody. Good job, motherfucker. That's the way to get us to like ya, is to tax us some more. He talked about voter fraud, said there's all kinds of fraud, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Your buddy Musk, his buddy Musk is the only fraudulent person when it comes to voting. He demanded that Congress pass insider trading acts to stop them from investing. No shit, Sherlock. Democrats have been trying to do that for fucking ever. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Republicans don't support it.
Well, and a lot of Democrats don't either, if we're being honest. But I mean,
no, yeah.
This way. Let's put it this way. Yeah, that might be the one thing that you've rattled off so far that I actually agree with.
But what's he doing to make it happen? Nothing, because in the first year of his presidency, he made over $4 billion. He profited over $4 billion off of his presidency. So he ain't gonna do shit to get people to stop investing. He just gave his little MAGA sycophants a little bone to wiggle in front of the other dum-dums. He talked about healthcare and prescription drugs, bragged about Trump RX, which is only good RX, but shittier, because that's all he can do. He did claim that drug prices have decreased 3, 4, 5, 600%. He does not know math. He just doesn't.
Which drugs?
Because nobody...
drugs haven't gone down.
My drugs haven't gone down either. But if drugs are going down by 3, 4, 5, 600%, that means that every time I go and get my prescription, that pharmacist is handing me at least $100.
Right.
He hasn't done that. Nobody's handing me money. He talked about retirement plans and Social Security, claiming that these baby accounts are going to be great. They open with $1,000 in them per each baby. Then what? Piss poor parents who don't have money to invest but have a baby are expected to invest? Because he said that these plans can be upwards of $100,000 by the time the kid's 18. Not unless you're investing a shit ton of money there, big boy. It's not going to grow like that by itself. In fact, it's going to grow pennies on the year if you don't put in more money. He claimed that they passed the no tax on Social Security. That's a lie. They are still taxing Social Security. If any of our listeners want to dispute that, if you get Social Security, black out your Social Security information, black out your name, I just want to see the numbers. Send me a stub that shows that there is no tax removed from your Social Security check. You can email politicalmalpractice2025@gmail.com. Again, if you are a MAGA and you are listening, and you want to say that there is no tax being taken out of your Social Security payment, email me a copy of your pay stub from Social Security to politicalmalpractice2025@gmail.com. I will happily show it during the next recording and absolutely apologize to the Trump regime. He claimed that the U.S. has facilitated sales of Venezuela, bringing in more than $1 billion to Venezuela. Venezuela says they've only been given $300 million of that $1 billion. We know that there is stolen $200 million in Qatar banks. Where's the other $500 million? Where'd that go? We're missing $500 million.
Well, I mean, isn't the oil production being largely helped by American oil companies at this point?
Right, but Venezuela is still missing $500 million.
Oh no, I know, but I mean, where I'm going with that is, it was obviously a giveaway to American oil companies. I mean, hello, anyone that can't see that is, as we were talking about earlier.
Duh, but we're checking his State of the Union here.
Yeah.
We're checking the State of the Union. He claimed that he brought home every single hostage that was left in Israel. Okay? He said he brought everybody home. He brought back, he brought back 27 people and 28 bodies, right? That's all he brought back. Before Trump got into office, 121 living hostages were brought back and 45 to 50 dead hostages were brought back. So he brought back, that would be one sixth. He brought back 1/6 of the remaining hostages out of the total. That's it. That's not a pat on the back there. He bragged about giving every soldier $1,776 as a bonus, just out of the kindness of his heart. He didn't. That was deducted from their housing allowance, paid to them in a separate check. Housing allowance that is given to soldiers is given tax-free. When he took $1,776 out of that BAH allotment and then issued them a separate check, tax was charged on that separate check. So not only were these soldiers shorted on their housing allowance, but they were also taxed on $1,776 of their housing allowance. What the fuck?
Winning.
What the fuck? And then to end all of this, Mr. I'm the FIFA World Peace winner, I'm the first FIFA World Peace winner, jumps up with, I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself. And I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it, but if they ever opened up that law, I'd be there with you and I would get the Congressional Medal of Honor. Fuck you. Fuck you.
He's got to be saying that as like rage bait, though. He's got to. I mean, surely he's a little bit more self-aware than that. I don't know. Maybe he's not.
I don't. There are times that I think he's saying it as rage bait, because in the very beginning of the State of the Union, he did mention, oh well, this should be my third term. That's rage bait, and it's old, and I'm tired of it. But when it comes to him wanting awards, I don't think that's rage bait. He has the emotional capacity of a first grader. And a first grader would cry about not getting an award.
Right.
At this point...
Right. I'm just hoping that he has a little bit more self-awareness. Yeah, well, no,
he shit his pants on TV. He has no self-awareness. He shit himself on national TV. Twice. Once you saw the poop stream flow down the Fox and Friends couch. That was the first one. And then this last one, there's some poor lady standing behind him when he shits his pants, and she's trying to be polite, just going... and trying to escape the smell. He's not self-aware. Bless you for trying to find the good in people. Bless you for trying.
Trust me, I try. I mean, I am a man of faith, and I do try to find the good in people. I really try to live up to what my faith teaches me.
I don't think that Jesus, Abraham, Matthew, Peter... That's why I added the other people. That's why I put Abraham. I put Abraham there for you, okay?
Okay, thanks. Moses too.
Okay, Moses. There we go. Moses. I don't think that any of them would be able to give him any kind of benefit of the doubt.
Oh.
Yeah,
Really.
I honestly think Moses would beat him over the head with his staff. I think that's what it would be. And Moses would be like, oh shit, man, my magic stick broke. I thought I was just gonna cure you. My bad. I think that's what would happen. I really think that's what would happen.
Well,
meanwhile, Moses's bestie, Aaron, would just be sitting there in the corner going like this, oh God, dude, don't. Like, how am I gonna explain this one to God? What the fuck?
Right on.
What the fuck? All right, guys. Do you have any ending statements for our listeners this week?
Well, yeah, you can find me back on X at MidwestHomo77. So, if you want to check me out there, I'm a little all over the place right now. I'm still kind of going through a political transformation, so don't be surprised if you see like, oh well, he really makes sense here. What the fuck is he thinking over here?
All right, guys. So it was Midwest Homo. I thought there was
7-7.
numbers.
Yeah, Midwest Homo.
Midwest Homo 77 on X. I will say I am digging the tweets, whatever the fuck they're called now, that you have sent me. I'm digging them. I'm approving of those. I am approving. All right, guys, that is it this week from us here on Political Malpractice. Be safe. Let's see what other shit we're gonna have to talk about next week. You know, I would not be surprised if we see Will Smith in a black suit running down the road chasing some weird cephalopody creature with a third eyelid and a funky ass gun. Anything can happen now.
Why not?
I just wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Oh yeah, take care, guys.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful week.
If you want a second opinion or just something to rage about, hit that button and subscribe. This has been Political Malpractice.